Hello my fellow Rome 2 players, Zaript here with RedWarrior and Duck. Hello guys.
Hey. Hello.
And we are in a semi-finals of Red's 1v1 tournament that uses Duck's mod, and we will witness Panda Warrior playing against Jonasnee. It would be Rome against Baktria, and don't expect the same game you usually see, but we already can take a look and see that at least one of the players go... No. I will not say anything because builds seem fairly interesting to me. And if you're interested to know what this whole mod about, you should go to Duck's YouTube channel, which I linked in the description if I didn't forget, and take a look at his video explaining design decisions behind his mod. But for now, let's take a look at builds. So Panda Warrior picked very... I can't even pick a word, but it feels like he picked one unit of everything. So we can see a mix of legendary cohort. There is one Praetorian, there is first cohort, then there is two Triarian flanks with two auxiliary infantry, which in this mod actually have counter cavalry tactic, which makes them a bit more useful. Then we have auxiliary Balearic slingers, two of them, Legatus, and this incredibly... It resembles the formation that Panda Warrior used against Duck in the finals of SCAN, like sword front with Soci Equites Extraordinary in a bit defensive position behind his swords. Interesting formation, two elephants. Now Duck, will you go over the Baktria build for Jonasnee?
So Jonas has a core of Thorax Pikemen, 5 of them. And on the flanks he has 1 unit of Bactrian Royal Guard and 1 unit of Thorax Swordsmen. Then out on the flanks he has 2 units of Indian Armored Elephants and 4 units of Bactrian Royal Cavalry. And 2 units of Eastern Slingers, exchanging fire with the Balearic Slingers.
Which they will lose quite soon. But that should buy him a little bit of time to get closer. Probably. I don't see these spikes as offensive tool, honestly.
They're really not. They're more of a... They can hold the front line for you and just control that area. But I think Jonas is making the mistake of having his elephants on one flank and his cavalry on the other one. He'd be better off just...
It's not necessarily a mistake in this scenario when... I mean, yes, his cavalry in a slight disadvantage now, but at the same time there is no threat for his elephants. But
yeah,
maybe
but this is the problem.
Yes, his flank may collapse here. And maybe he should have kept one elephant there, at least one. Because he definitely don't need 2 for attacking. So here, rear charges from auxiliary African elephants of Panda Warrior.
Yep, and
look, somehow all cavalry of Jonasnee completely zoned out of a fight.
Yep. And Jonasnee's elephants are getting swarmed at the moment.
Yeah,
and
well, at least one.
Both of them. They didn't even actually get a charge in.
At this point this game already looks quite bad. Maybe some miracle coming from Jonasnee in face of this Bactrian Royal Cavalry, because 4 of them is still forced to consider, but his pikes are completely out of formation.
Yeah, and
Panda definitely have enough micro.
Yeah, and those elephants are going down really quickly.
Indian armored elephants not doing anything particularly. Well, one of them still hold, but now they started to drop.
Yeah.
But if we zoom to main fight, it will be like it's over. Again, Bactrian Royal Cavalry. It just has to it's too late. It's too late. It
Yeah.
could have turned the game before.
Yeah, I think basically Jonas gave. I mean, he was too afraid of the elephants, and because for Shock Cav in this mod, they'll deal with the elephants.
Yeah, and well, it somehow I have to like it always reminds me my own experience, and I have to remember my game against Pointman, the second one, where 2 of his shock cavalry moved with 2 spears, 3 of them, and I had to face with 4 shock cavalry, and at some point his shock cavalry went away, and I left with against 2 spears which I didn't charge, so my cavalry was zoned out and my mobility was tight for no reason, which happened here. Like, one freaking triary unit was pushing 4 Baktria cavalry. It shouldn't happen. You have your mobility just go around, but you need enough micro for that, and you need to foresee such a turn of event, which means like it requires experience.
Yeah, I mean, basically in this mod, to use elephants successfully, you kind of need to use them as a combined arms tool. And they need support around them. If you send them in alone, they'll most likely get swarmed.
Yeah, but and I want to focus on another part of a battle. Look how much job formation did for Panda Warrior. He really, whenever I look at his games, it always looks like he really goes for them, not like Shogun 2 player who will try to split more, to play a bit more modularly. No, he approaches it as ancient general who actually cares about formation a lot. It's a bit different mindset from what I used to from Shogun 2.
I mean, I think Panda basically uses very... in a sense, his tactics feel quite frontal, because his army moves as one. But he actually... in a sense, you could say that he uses interior lines. He uses units to block units that are on the outside, and then pushes more mobile units through the gaps.
Yes.
It's very effective. It usually means that he'll never be outnumbered.
Yeah, quite safe. Well, that was interesting example. And again, you can see how much organization can do for you. When you have a nice formation where you know which unit's supposed to do what, it helps a lot. Like, it's speeding up your game because you already have an idea for each separate unit, which is quite cool. And it shows an experience and a lot of playtime. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you in the finals, which would be best of 1, so it will be only 1 game. See you pretty much now.